We've done this before.
Hello! Hi guys, we are so excited to chat with you. Okay, we know it's a little bit late. What is it, 9:38 Pacific Standard Time? But if you guys aren't watching it live, you can definitely rewatch this tomorrow. We'll be hopping in tomorrow as well to answer some questions, but we just wanted to come in and say hi, talk a little bit about what we do as coaches. I know you guys have probably had some time to read through some of our transformation photos. Thank you so much for introducing yourselves on the initial introduction posts. It's been so fun reading through those and getting to know you guys. And now you get to know us. So before we dive into the content that we want to talk about, really what we do as coaches, why we love it, and how you can do it too, we just wanted to kind of go around and share who we are, what we do for work, and knowing, you know, kind of like that we all come from different walks of life, but we all make coaching work in our life in one way or another, and we all freaking love it, and that's why we're here. So my name's Carly. I'm the CEO and founder of Team Root to Rise. I am a full-time coach, but 2.5 years ago, I was a part-time yoga teacher, part-time bartender, part-time kids yoga teacher, so I was like all over the board, basically just trying to make it in the fitness industry, but not really finding like a specific path that I really wanted. So coaching was this avenue for me to not only connect with a supportive community of people, but also commit to like a business plan of like where I could really create my own my own job that I could create my own hours, and so it really helped me kind of like solidify like my vision for what I wanted in my life. So it took me out of like, having to go and work at yoga studios or having to work at a gym or subsidize with, going and working at the bar. It gave me that avenue to kind of, create my own business. So I'm a full-time coach, and these girls are going to explain what they do outside of coaching. Go for it.
Okay, I'm Megan. I am 26 years old. I am clearly an online health coach, but outside of that, I am a full-time high school math teacher, and I coached field hockey and lacrosse at my school. I fell in love with this community. It was during my second year teaching, and so for my master's program plus my first year teaching, I was just pouring everything I had into everyone else around me, giving everything I had to my students and my lessons and whatever else remained to my relationships. And it got to the point where I wasn't taking care of myself, both mentally, physically, in any which way. And so I tried following so many different workout programs. I tried Tone It Up, I tried BBG, I tried running programs and weightlifting programs. I tried different diets, and I was just trying to just get myself healthy. I grew up playing sports. I went to school to play Division I lacrosse and struggled post-grad with just maintaining a healthy lifestyle. And this community has breathed life into me. I reached out to Carly, like most of us, if not all of us, on Instagram and was like, what is this community you're talking about, and how can I be a part of it? And in his teaching takes everything out of me, and coaching gives back everything that I need to sustain my own life. And so it's helped me create balance and has given me hope and a vision for creating a life that I want and not a life that somebody else dictates for me. That's why I'm here.
I'm Jordan. I am 20 years old. I am a full-time kinesiology student and part-time personal trainer at a boot camp, and I started coaching my first year of college because I was really lost and I didn't really know who I was myself, or I didn't really have this sense of community that I do now, and I was really just looking for something to guide me out of like that darker time in my life where I felt lonely, I felt like afraid, like I didn't know what I was going to do, and I found coaching and I found community and this awesome community. That's all I can say is community that lifts me up and takes me where I want to go.
My turn? Okay. Yeah. So I'm Apples. I am a visual ambassador full-time for Lush. I'm 22, and I found this community kind of on accident because I saw Carly's transformation photo, and I had just gained, well, I shouldn't say just, it was over a course of time, but I gained 25 pounds after moving to California, and that shit sucked. So I decided I need to do something about it, and that's when I found Carly, and I was like, girl, I don't know what you do, but you look really good, so can I do it too? Like, how do I get fit? Like, I don't know. And that's really how I found it, and it was an accident, and I was like, wow, you're really cool and this is really cool and maybe I should do it too.
Hey, I'm Angie. I am a full-time personal trainer. Well, not anymore, actually. I quit my job in May. I quit my job in May because I knew about the coaching opportunity and how much I could potentially make and help more people with. Besides personal training, I was training at West Seattle and I was managing the gym, and it was just turned into something that like I couldn't work on myself, and I wasn't practicing what I was preaching. And so I dove in. My story's a little bit different than everybody else's. Like, I didn't make the income enough to like replace what I was making as a trainer. So I kind of just like, I'm blinded and I'm jumping into it with full faith because I love this community so much. So yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Gina. I work full-time as a higher ed professional, so I work at a college, and I also work part-time as a health and fitness coach. And pretty much very similar to Angie, I was a personal trainer about a year and a half ago, and at the time I wasn't taking care of myself because I was pouring everything into my clients, but at the same time I couldn't take on as many clients as I wanted to because of my full-time job, and I was burnt out. So pretty much I came across Carly on a whim, was not looking for anything really, but I knew I needed it, so I just reached out to her. We had a video chat and I signed up right there, just because I was so excited to have like a different opportunity to help others. So now my goal is to make it full-time before May.
Hi guys, I'm Leanna and I'm 22 years old. Now I'm a full-time coach, but when I first started, I was like doing all the things. I was going to school for music, and I was working a job, and then I dropped out of school and I started my yoga certification, and then started planning a wedding, got engaged. So it's been kind of crazy past like year and a half, almost 2 years of coaching. But the main reason why I dove into coaching, because when I first started coaching, like I had no idea what that was going to provide for me. I honestly just like thought the community was amazing and I wanted to be a part of it. So that's why I originally started coaching, but now it's become something where like my passions, you know, have been music and yoga and all these different things. I'm so like multi-passionate, but coaching is something where it like provides the financial part of it as well as like it brings me joy and it fills me back up. And just like everybody else has been saying about not being able to pour into their health journey. Hi,
Said mascot.
Yeah.
Saber-toothed.
So like not being able to pour into your own health journey when you're, you know, serving as a yoga teacher or as a real teacher or anything, like our jobs and our lives like take so much out of us. And so coaching has been the thing where it's like I'm earning money, but I'm also like getting fit and like feeling amazing and surrounded by so many amazing women. So now full time and just working on helping everybody else do the same thing.
Yay. I'm Victoria and I am 27 and I'm a full-time NICU nurse over in Spokane. And I started doing these workout programs 2 years ago and didn't fall into coaching until April of this year. And what I really found changed when I became a coach was I felt more accountable for myself and my own fitness journey and really started to focus on working out every day and following my meal plans and doing all of that. Before then, I didn't, like, the only person I had holding me accountable was myself, and that was really hard to stick to my routine. So ever since April, like, I've seen the best results that I've seen in the past 2 years, and I unexpectedly found, like, a community of women just like all of these girls have said, and it really is something that fills me up every single day, and it's something that I would never go without again in my life. So.
I'm Crystal. I'm 21 years old. So when I went from all high school sports and went into freshman year of college, I got really lazy and I drank a lot and I totally lost myself. Long story short, put on about 30 pounds. I moved home from college to go to a community college around my home. And from there, it was just like a slow process in the gym, like slowly trying to change. And then this past year alone, I decided to start training for a marathon, and I stuck to a plan then. but I knew that once I finished that structured plan, I was going to fall off in that plateau of kind of like waving around. Like I already have like the fitness background, the fitness love, and like I'm able to dedicate myself to a plan, but that's exactly it. I needed a plan. So like I had planned a trip to go to Washington, again, more plans. And so I was going on Instagram, creeping through Washington posts to find places that I thought were cool to go. And that's where I happened to find Carly. And I liked her pictures, I liked her stuff. So I started following her, and I saw her post about her group that she was doing and this fitness program she's doing. And I saw her transformation. It was pretty badass. So I'm like, well, I want abs like that. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to get that alone with running, no matter how much I want to run. And I don't want that atypical runner's flat ass. I'm going to be quite honest about it. Yeah. So I needed more, and I've joined this community, and now it's just to the point where I want to give back. I'm a nursing student full-time. This will be my last year, but I'm kind of in that position of I don't know what I want to do with it, and I really love health and fitness, so this is kind of giving me the best of both worlds. And I guess my goal is come spring and graduation and my pinning ceremony, I want to be able to start part-time as a nurse, because this will financially be supporting me enough to be able to do that.
Awesome. So there are introductions about everybody. So thanks guys for tuning on live. Hey Faith, how's it going? Yeah, I think so. So basically, as you can see, it's like all walks of life. Like we all, balance full-time jobs, part-time jobs, full-time coaches, part-time coaches. But I just kind of want to talk a little bit about where everything starts. And then from there, they have a couple topics that they're going to touch on. We're going to try to do it super quick. And then if you guys have questions, of course, comment them below, and we'll be sure to answer them for you guys. But basically, like, as you guys heard, and why we shared our transformations, especially like prior to this video, is everything starts with you. And I think that that's what I love most about coaching and this job is, nothing starts, and like you would never be able to start a coaching business or be able to coach other people without you committing to your own fitness journey. And Angie will talk about that because she's the closer, but really to start this journey, you have to commit to your own fitness journey. And that's what we were all looking for before coaching fell into our laps, right? Like we were doing our own fitness journey, or we were doing our own fitness journeys on our own. We were trying to find accountability buddies maybe, but we weren't having like that consistency. And the coaching community and what Team Beachbody really prides themselves on is not only like top level nutrition and fitness programs, but also this community of people who will support you and continue to support you as you work through programs and as you work through your life, right? Because you can't be consistent with something without that community of support. Consistency always trumps intensity. So everything always comes back to you committing to your own journey. So, I came into this just buying a fitness program. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of P90X or Insanity. I started with the 21 Day Fix, but all of these programs are owned by a company called Beachbody, but I committed to that program and it absolutely changed my life. And I realized if I can change my life, I can help other women change their lives too. And that's why we're coaches, is we want other people to understand that like fitness is not complicated. Fitness is very, very simple. And the reason it is simple and the reason that we can be consistent is by having that community of support. So everything starts with you. And whether you're here and you're like, okay, I want to build a full-time business and work virtually and be able to, go to a coffee shop on Mondays and just work from my computer, that's amazing. Or maybe you're just like in a position where you're like, holy crap, like these girls have this amazing community of support. And they're talking about how they're also staying, consistent in their fitness journeys. Like maybe that's just what you want. I started just like you, like I signed up and I was like, I don't really know what this is, but like, clearly I'm falling out of my yoga practice. Clearly I'm not sticking with, my own health and fitness goals, even though I am in the fitness industry teaching yoga classes every single day. So it really does start with you. And whether you start there or you start with like a business mindset of like wanting to, quit whatever job you have, it all comes back to you being able to commit to a program and really get your own results. And from there, it's so organic, right? Like you fall in love with the product, you fall in love with this community, and you naturally want to share that. I always say like it's a really good parallel of like going to an amazing movie, and it's like obviously you're going to recommend that movie to people because it was hilarious or good. Or if you're going to go to a restaurant, you're always going to recommend that to people because it was amazing or delicious or whatever. So that's basically what we've all experienced. And because of that, and because of my initial decision to like commit to my own journey, I've paid that forward. And obviously they'll go into it, but we use social media as our marketing. We share it through our social media platforms, but that's really how we connect. And yeah, if it wasn't for Instagram, we literally like wouldn't be here, which is so crazy. But it all starts with you, and no matter what kind of coach you see, or maybe you've heard their stories and you relate to one of them, you can start at any place. But regardless, it always starts back with your fitness journey and your ability, you know, to commit to a fitness group and commit to your own goals first. So that's a little introduction.
Leanna.
Yay. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about just what we do as coaches every day. Should I come down?
Good down.
It's like, gotta grab the mic. So I'm going to talk about like what we do as coaches every day. It's super fun, but it is a job just like any other job in the world. Like it's going to have ups, it's going to have downs, but all in all, we try to keep it really simple and stick to like 4 main things. So it all starts out with exactly what Carly said. Like you want to lead by example. You want to be a product of the products. You want to, you know, do your workout program and follow your meal plan so you're getting amazing results so that you can share that with everyone around you. And that brings you to like step 2, which is just connecting with a ton of women every day, whether it's like starting a new conversation, and that can be on social media or in person at the grocery store, or maybe you're following up with someone you've already started talking to. We just want to build like relationships all the time. And that's what will build you this community, which is so cool. So relationship building, messaging people, contacting people. And then, so we have like ongoing boot camps going, or we'll have like challenge boot camps going every month or so. And everybody runs their business a little bit differently. And so you'll either like post in there as the coach and provide like motivation and support for your girls that are doing a program with you, or maybe you're helping your coaches and you're mentoring your coaches to do that same thing. But a lot of our work as coaches lives in those challenge groups. We call them kind of like the bread and the butter of our business, because it's a place where we can connect with those people who have chosen to start their health and fitness journeys, and we can continue to motivate and support them. And then we'll also like check in with them, you know, every week or so via email. And beyond that, our business kind of goes to like recognizing the people on our team or the challengers. Maybe if you guys watch our social medias, you'll see us like posting a lot about our clients getting amazing results, or even our teammates getting amazing results. So we also like oftentimes like to highlight just recognition as a whole. Because we want to provide support and community, but also like empowerment and letting each other know that like this is possible, and letting those on the outside know that this is possible. So that's pretty much like it. What else am I missing?
You got it, girl.
And then posting, we post a lot, obviously, but it's pretty simple. Like it always comes back to exactly what Carly said. Like you want to be a leader and lead by example with your own health and fitness journey so that you can lead others to do the same thing. And then as you do that, you'll be able to lead a team of other people doing that as well. So yeah.
Perfect. Crystal.
Hi.
Okay. Oh, should I scooch?
Okay, shifting.
Okay, doke. Taking the mic. So I wanted to talk about the community that we're always talking about. So if you're following any of us and you're here, you know that somewhere along the line we've talked about how there's this huge community aspect and why we're here and like what it's done for us. I guess for myself personally, I was kind of a bitch in high school. We're all kind of categorized, and you know, I did my own thing, but I was always blunt and I didn't really care what other people thought, and I wasn't someone to form to how other people wanted me to be. So people didn't like that in high school. And so after graduation, coming from like a smaller town area, and that was kind of hard to like deform from, you know, people already had like their based opinions, or they saw that you were an athlete, or they saw you were from this group, and that kind of like strayed people away. So when I moved to college, I had a really hard time meeting friends. I didn't know how to meet new people. I was really shy, and I was actually really insecure with myself. So it wasn't something that like came naturally to me. I wasn't someone who went out and made a bunch of girlfriends and ran around like, hi, and like hugging. Like that wasn't me. So I had a really hard time meeting girlfriends. It was always the guys. So then when I moved back home and I went to community college, it was I left home, I went to school, and I came back. There was no really like time where it was meeting girls. There wasn't the sororities. There wasn't the shared classes in the dorms. Like I didn't have that. So it's kind of hard, especially after graduating, you're moving on and everyone's separating and like making their own lives, to meet my own friends and like people that share the same values as me. So then once I joined this community, I was able to meet people from around, and it doesn't seem like, you know, you're going to have these real connections, but you do. Like, look at us all around right now. Like, this connection is real. We're real people, and we're all here together. And when I first joined, you know, I was a little skeptical. We all are. Like, who isn't a skeptic?
I didn't know what kind of communications I was going to get. I didn't know what kind of relationships I was going to build, but I ended up building some really great ones. I've met really good friends, and like when I'm having a hard time, I know that that's like a safe spot I can go and like go talk about it, and I have people that are there to like build me up and encourage me along the way. And that not only goes for myself, but that goes for every single one of us in this entire room and every single one of our girls that have signed up. They have that full opportunity and that full community aspect. So when you join into a challenge group, like you're not alone. If you're choosing to use that tool and you're like choosing to check in, like reach out and say like when you're having that hard time, you're gonna have this like swarm of girls coming at you, just like saying like, hey, we're there for you. Like, hey, we eat cupcakes too. Like, it's okay. Like, don't feel bad. So they're like buzzing in, and you're able to have that community aspect. A huge thing I've met with coaching and my own like journey and everyone else's is, you know, I signed up with Carly, and like this is like her tribe she's created, but I'm over here and all of us are over in our own worlds creating our own tribe and meeting our own people and like bringing them in, and I'm making a lot of friendships I would have never had. I'm like creating a lot of conversations with people I would have never met if it wasn't for coaching. So long story short, like every single thing that's about this business as a whole is about building friendships and community. So that's all.
I'm next, but mine's really not too long. So I'm talking about how we make money, which is what everybody wants to know, and it's pretty simple. We get 25% commission on every single product that we sell. And also, once you start building a team of your own, you're going to be making residual income based off the productivity of your team. So it just depends on what your team's doing, and you're making money based off what they're doing and not necessarily you having to do anything with that, other than adding more people to your team. So that's like pretty straightforward about how it is.
Yeah.
Cool. Hi. Okay, so now we're moving into objections. The most common objections people have when they're hesitant or skeptical about coaching, and we're just kind of gonna nip those in the bud, because most of them are fake. Sorry. The first one I'm going to talk about is the money objection. Most of us, when we start coaching, have a little resistance about money. You don't have enough money to coach. You don't have enough money to put into the business. And I'm just going to come back around and say, as much that you pour into your own business, as you'll get tenfold out of it. So the only investment that you have to start in this business is one in yourself. You have to get started with your own workout programs and your own superfood shake that we drink every single day, and that's what we distribute to our clients, and that's how we help our customers get results, right? So we have to invest in that ourselves. So if you can't put down the money to really invest in yourself, which by the way is the lowest business startup cost probably in any business ever, you guys agree? Yeah. Just investing in yourself, not even investing in an office or business supplies or anything like that. Like, you are given everything you need to do just by working on yourself and your own health and fitness. So that's pretty plain, straightforward and simple. And I just want to throw it out there that I am a boot camp trainer. I work at a gym, and the price of fitness services actually absolutely makes me sick to my stomach. The gym that I work at sells memberships for $160 a month. $160 a month to work out at the gym with a trainer. And with these programs, you get a whole bunch of trainers, not just one, but you get 1 million trainers in your back pocket with all different sorts of workout programs for all different styles, all different walks of life. Literally, you can find something for anybody in the workout programs that we offer. And you also get nutrition included with that. So you're paying for less than a year's gym membership to get a whole online gym membership, plus nutrition, plus accountability, plus coaching. So really, if you can't find the money for that in your budget, maybe you should rethink how you budget, because like,
Amen.
I'm just saying. Next.
Drop it down.
Who's that?
You.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Okay. This one's my fave. I specifically picked this one because I know all about this one. Everyone always thinks, oh, but I'm not fit enough. I don't have abs. I don't look like so-and-so that I see on Instagram. And the truth is that people want to see what you really look like. People want to see a real human. I started off my journey 25 pounds overweight, and it sucked so bad. but I knew that if I really wanted to be accountable and I really wanted to change my life, I needed to feel like I had that extra piece of accountability, and I needed to feel like I was responsible for more than just my journey. And I knew that being like committing to actually being a coach and telling myself like, no, I'm a freaking health and fitness coach would give me plenty of accountability, because I'd be like, how the hell am I going to be a coach and fail at my own journey, first of all? Like, now I have people looking up to me. Now I have people being like, well, wait, Apples is doing her workout and it's like 11 o'clock at night. Maybe I could do that too. Or what the heck, like, you know, Apples is out there eating veggies and she's looking bomb. Like, maybe I should do that too. Like, that's one thing that I think is like the craziest thing is when people tell me I can't be fit enough. It's not fun to see someone at the end of their journey, because you don't even get to see how hard they worked or how they built that foundation, how they got to where they are. It's more important to see the struggle, because we can all relate to struggling, whether it be like financially or physically, emotionally. We can all relate to that stress and feeling that pressure of like, I'm not making it, or I'm not where I want to be. And how better than to be honest about where you are, than to share it when you're at your starting point. Everyone can relate to that. And that's one thing that I'm like, girl, you at your lowest? Good, let's do this. Like, let's start now, because you can only go up. And how amazing would that be for everyone to see you climbing the ladder, climbing your way up to success? Like, there's no better way to start than at your lowest. I mean, you don't have to be at your lowest, but right?
Yep, mic drop there. One objection that I had personally before I started, and that I hear all the time, is I would love to do what you do, but I just don't have the time. And to me, like, I take that actually super personally, probably more than I should, because this upcoming week, for instance, I'm going to be working 5 15 to 18-hour days, Monday through Friday. And the way I see it is you kind of have two choices if you want to build a business, and that's either you sit back on your excuses or you find the time in your day. But going off of that, this whole idea of I don't have time to build a business, or I don't have time to put my health and fitness first. When I first started as a coach, and I think quite a few of us are in the same boat, is I didn't want to do any coaching. I was in my second year teaching, and I was coaching 2 sports, and I was like, I said I don't have the time to coach, but I fell in love with the products and the programs, and I wanted to start saving money, because as coaches, we receive discounts on all of the products that we use and all of the items we purchase. So I fell in love with these products, and I signed up as a coach at first just to save 25% on everything that I was already purchasing and using and loving, and these items that were really supplementing my journey. And then my then boyfriend, now fiance, started drinking my shakes and started using my products, and I was like, this isn't gonna happen. So I signed him up as a coach, and he literally does nothing but saves money on these products and programs that we love. So that's totally an option. If you've been in one of our accountability groups before and you just want to save some money, talk to the coach that invited you here and be like, how can I save money on these products? Then I started to realize the potential that this business opportunity offers. As a teacher, at least in my district, I have a very set, I can pull up a schedule of pay for the next 50 years, and I can see exactly if I were to stick where I am, regardless of what degrees I get, there's a cap to how much money I can make, which means there's a cap to what my life can be. And I got a paper in the mail a few months after I signed up as a coach that was like, hey, when you retire in 45 years or whatever it is, you'll be making this much money. And I was like, I'm not going to let somebody else tell me what my life can be. And so I started working this business, and I do currently work this business part-time. I have a full-time job that's 40 hours a week, and I have 2 other part-time jobs on top of that. And I work this business part-time. So you have the time if it means something to you, if it's important to you. We all have the same amount of time. I stopped watching some Netflix shows. I stopped... What did I do? Going to happy hours during the week with some of my coworkers. I would go home and work on my business. And I'm a better person because I'm taking time to pour into myself and starting to grow a business. And then alongside that, you can also put full-time effort into this business as well. And it's 100% up to you. There's no requirements. There's no, say, quotas you had to meet. I was under the misconception that like I would have these set requirements every month and that I wouldn't be able to meet them. And that's not the case. There's no penalty if you don't want to do anything as far as working the business, but just receive the discounts. Totally up to you, which is, I think, the beauty of this business and how all of us from so many different walks of life can find success with it, because there's no requirements, there's no penalties, and you can find the time that you have to work the business side of it.
Your choice.
I'd just like to say Beyonce also has 24 hours in a day, just like you do.
Apples.
Beyonce has 24 hours.
All right, you guys. What do you think? Come on. So I think our next, all of our boot camps will start in September. So if you're ready to sign up, contact your coach. There's nothing to lose. Honestly, like, I'm the most happiest I've ever been in like my whole entire life.
Skeptic.
Very big skeptic. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I was. I mean, 2 years ago, I didn't.
She's like,
I was like, what is she talking about? Like, what is this? I was like, how can I make money off of this? And then, you just watch over time, and then just so much momentum and happiness and success has happened, and the people she was surrounded with too. So I think everyone can agree with me how this has completely changed their life in a very positive and impactful way, and they're just happier than ever. So you can be that too, and we would love to have you. So reach out to your coach. There's 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's literally nothing to lose. So do it. And it starts as low as like $160 to $170, and then just depending on like what supplements you want or whatever your goals are, your coach can help you with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys! Okay.